What's up, guys? Welcome to Legacy TCG. I've got a deck profile for you today. I won my first Edison pod, and yeah, I got this Yugoso playmat from doing so from the RBET LA. I was super happy to get this mat. I probably entered, since I started playing Edison, I probably played like 10 pods, so I have a 10% win rate on that. But it's okay, we finally got one. And we got this really cool mat. All the other ones were like competing for like a Tengu mat, Light and Darkness, some other Yugoso mats that Collectibles Exchange had. But this one is, I think, exclusive to this event because it's Los Angeles Second Chance. So like, I don't think they would ever reprint this specific one again. I'm not sure, but you know, I'm probably gonna keep it forever because it's like my first, and it's really sentimental to me. But anyways, I got the deck profile for you. I use Machinas as always, just pure Machina, Hamster Raikou Kaius. So we'll go through it real quick. 3 gear frame, 3 fortress. So this is our core engine, and then I stuck with 2 force. Some people opt for 3. I only do 2 because if you open up with 2 in hand, for like in the beginning of the game, you're probably dead. And there's like 3 Pot of Avarice in the deck too, so like there's multiple ways you can brick and pretty much kill yourself, right? So that's just to mitigate that, and I think 2 is enough. You can just Pot of Avarice them back in the deck, recycle everything. Anyways, we went with 2 Hamster, 3 Raikou. Some decks opt for the 3 Hamster for like consistency's sake, but I feel like even if I draw 2 in my starting hand, sorry if you hear growling, that's my pupper. He's bored. But some people opt for 3 because like they argue like I want to see it in the starting hand, but honestly at 2 I see it enough to where like I don't find it a problem at all. We go 2 Lila. You can charge for this. Same thing with Raikou, but the very important thing about this, for me at least, is like it eats bottomless, deep prisons, and royal oppressions. If royal oppression's on field and you don't have a way to break it, it pretty much shuts off all your fortresses, right? And you're just dead in the ground at that point. So the Lila, either drawing it naturally or charging for it, is very useful. So we'll go 1 card trooper. This card, I love this card personally. Even if you don't want to use it for its intended purpose, you can ditch it with fortress if you need to. Milling 3, and then being able to replace itself by dying is really good. Gets you further into your deck, so you can find your bombs like Pot of Avarice, Heavy Storm, Gear Frame, things like that. Sometimes I'll slide it out going first if I need to for more stun cards, but I found this is a really good going second card as well because it runs over most monsters, right? Runs over hamsters, runs over all the glads, most of the black wings, etc. Main deck 1 Cyber Dragon. So in my head, right, since I'm running 2 hamsters, I can run the 1 Cyber Dragon in place of it. That way, if we are going second and we have this in hand, we can opt for this play instead, rather than being behind with the hamster, setting behind someone else's, Raikou or hamster, right? Because if they pop our hamster with their Raikou, we're so far behind, it's not even funny, right? This way we can break their boards with Cyber Dragon as long as he doesn't get bottomless. And then you can just like follow it with Kaius or maybe a Plague or Gale, right? You can go 8 star, probably not 7 star. I did do this play going to Black Rose quite often, but the success rate of that was like 50-50. So yeah, Cyber Dragon, very good card. Also, if it's dead in your hand, you can also pitch it with Fortress, kind of similar to Card Trooper. 1 Gores. Honestly, I wish I saw him more, but I didn't. Usually I have a pretty good draw rate on him, but this weekend I did not. He was not there for me, unfortunately. But very strong card. And then we'll go 2 Caius. At one point, I was playing 3 in this deck, but same thing with the Force, Pot of Avarice. If you have too many cards that can pretty much kill you for just being in hand, I decided to shave down 1, and then 2 just ends up working out. Like, I wish I could play 3, but I just can't risk it. The deck can, I mean, all decks can brick, right? But I just want to minimize that as much as possible. And then we opt for 1 Chaos Sorcerer. So we got what? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 darks and I think 6 lights. So it's like about 50-50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Cyber Dragon's the 6th. Wherever he is. Yeah, here. This card's amazing. Get you out so many situations. A free special summon. You can sack it for Caius. Synchro summon with it if you want. Remove any problem card on the field. It does so much. It's relatively easy to special summon, especially if you have like the double hamsters to access your lights, right? So technically I have like 8 lights, like 8 pseudo lights, right? And then the darks are actually the hardest ones to come by. I was running like, let's say, like DD Crows in the main, but I decided to do an extra Lila and Cyber Dragon over it just to be more aggressive. Just because I was afraid of like seeing that combo deck Gigavise more often. I wanted to be able to pressure it out of the game. Although DD Crow, I guess, is pretty good against it, but I didn't see many of that deck, at least on the tables I was at. Looking to the right and left, a couple of tables down, like I maybe saw like 2 Gigavise the whole weekend. So that deck is very powerful. I played that deck before against it. It's very, very powerful, but it's not like an end-all be-all for Edison, in my opinion. So we go 3 Pot of Avarice. I was gonna cut it down to 2 for the day 2 and put in Cold Wave, but I think I've come to terms with this card. I want to see it, and if I do see it too often in my starting hands, so be it. I'll live and die by the sword. 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Mystical Space Typhoon, Staples, Brain Control, and Charge. Yeah, 7 spells. And then for traps, we go triple Dust Shoot. I mean, I wish. Triple Compulse. This card's amazing. It performed spectacularly, like really, really well over the weekend. What can I say about it? So like, say I'm playing a Blackwing player, I set this card plus Gear Frame. Ideally, I would have it with Gear Frame, right? I go attack into your Bora or whatever. They go Icarus attack, right? Then I go Compulse, send the monster you're targeting back to hand. You lose your monster plus the back row, and then I gain my Machina Fortress, my Raiko hamster back. Like, it doesn't matter. It just, I don't lose the card, you lose the cards. And that was like a utility I didn't expect to see. But when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is really cool. If I attack with Fortress or Fortress or Gear Frame, I just send it back, protect them. They're trying to like Caius it, I can protect it. The only thing is like, if you're protecting your stuff, your life points are vulnerable, so you have to be wary of that. But this card's quick. It's chainable. They go Heavy Storm. I'll push your monster back to hand. So whatever you're trying to do with that monster, after clearing, it's not there anymore, right? You have to use your normal summon on it, or they're going for big plays. They go Stardust Brio, or Stardust Goyo, something like really hard to break board, like, and I need something to answer. I just, boom, gone. Like all your synchros, you use 2 cards for it. Now I use my 1 card, get rid of it. And even if the board is established, it'll break the board. So it's really, really good card, especially in this deck with the Gear Frame. But anyways, we go to D-Prison. I was playing 2 bottomless over the D-Prisons on Saturday. So these were bottomless Saturday. Sunday, I changed it to deep prisons because I found that when I drew the bottomless, after their board was already there, I was pretty much just drawing dead. And at least if you draw dimensional prison, it's never a dead card. Unless like you're so far behind, like they're just like pitching with Bionic or something to destroy it. Or they're like, yeah, I guess Breaker or Lila. But in my opinion, I like this card more than bottomless. So this iteration of the deck has no bottomless, right? So we'll do our broken one-ofs, Trap Dust Shoot, Mirror Force, Torrential, Trap Stun. Trap Stun is really good. It's like a go button. It's like a activating Heavy Storm, and then going off with your monsters, right? Yeah. So I would probably up this to 2, or maybe you just play Cold Wave instead. This card, Karma Cut, I didn't out of that pod on Sunday and the whole RBET day 2 event. I didn't get to cast this card once, so I don't have an opinion on it. It's very, very good in theory, but I didn't see it, so I don't really have an opinion on it. I just either milled it or didn't draw it. Yeah, that's the main deck. We'll go extra. Extra is pretty standard. Hasn't really changed for me. Armory Arm, Catastor, Goyo, Brio, Tempest Magician. You can go with your Lilas, Kaikus to burn them from game. It's either a Tempest Magician or Flameville Urquiza's, but this one seems more fun for me. Black Rose Dragon, Arcanite Magician, I love this card. Blackwing Armor Master, Thought Ruler, Dark End, Stardust, Colossal, Mistworm, Gothams, and Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. I don't run 2 just because like space is tight, and you can just Pot of Avarice it back into the deck if you need to. The synchros I use the most were probably, let's see, for this weekend at least, probably these 5, 6. Catastor, Goyo, Stardust, Arcanite, Black Rose, and Brio. Those are my main boys for this weekend. All right. And for the side deck, 1 Cyber Dragon. This card's amazing. Even if you're not playing against machines, you can use it against stun decks. You can use it against Blackwings, Gladiator Beast. It's just a 21 hitter that has to be answered because it goes over every single one of their monsters and usually consumes a resource on their side of the field. Granwell, I didn't get to use this at all, so during the main event or the side pod. So I don't really have an opinion on it. On paper, it's really good, but you know, I can't really say anything about it. Kaiku, absolute house. They see this card, fear is in their eyes. Especially if you strike him, get some battle damage in, wipe their Necros, wipe their Treeborn Frogs, like call their graveyard of all lights and darks so they can't Chaos Sorcerer you. Excellent card. Get rid of all their values. Like, it's just like an Imperial Iron Wall on the stick. Like, it's just so good. That card's amazing. 2 Fossil. Fossil. Also good. Most of the time, I'm like extending with Fortress Gear Frame and then slamming Fossil right after. And then they have to get rid of this first so they can have access to my Fortress. And if they can't get rid of this and I'm able to defend it long enough, it's just GG. You can also, I also did set it once and blew up their, like 2 other monsters. So, you know, really good utility. Very strong card. And it's not something they really expect either. Sorry, my dog. So we got 2 Book of Moon. This is another chainable. This is mainly to stop like those combo heavy decks. You can stop Light Storms from milling, so you can wipe them off the board later. Just a lot of utility with this card. If going forward, I might trade these 2 out for Threatening Roars, just to see how that goes. But this also gets around trap stuns too. So if you see a lot like heavy trap stuns, they won't expect the Book of Moons. It's a card they don't see coming. Lightning Vortex, excellent card. I've messed with 2, but usually this one comes to hand when I need it. I don't know, it follows me. It's crazy. Soul Release, slow, right? But when it lands, it's devastating. It's like you pretty much brought the game state back to turn one for your opponent. And yeah, if you draw at the proper time, right? Sometimes you can even like soul release for like 1 or 2 cards, and that's enough to stop your opponent. I ran double oppression day 1 and day 2, and in my opinion, it actually it performed really well. I didn't think I would like it, but my siding patterns usually brought in these guys anyways, right? So very low to the ground monsters. I guess not Cyber Dragon because they would press it, but this in combination with Gear Frame, in combination with, you know, Card Trooper, Raiko, and Hamster, like these monsters are very lethal on their own. So even without Fortress, I can win games. So if I'm able to establish a board like, you know, Gear Frame, Kaiku, and I have set oppression, it's very, very lethal. Or I have like double barrier, so they have to go through a Dyna first, and then they have to go through oppression. It's another layer of protection. Yeah, this is usually like my bane. Like if I see, like, my deck is constructed to like get rid of it. But if I'm able to like say normal summon Gear Frame, pitch, and special Fortress, right? Then you set oppression, right? And they don't have the back row to deal with it. They're probably not winning that game, because to get around this card, it requires a lot. It requires like, you know, even like one of the outs is like a Brio, right? Brio pitch, and then send it back to hand just to move it. But if you can't even get to that point, I got oppression to stop them. It actually performed really well. I wasn't expecting that. I took that from I think his name is like Sean Banks deck profile in RBET, no, YCS Orlando, Ultimate Time Wizard. So yeah, performed well. 2 Dust Tornado. Dust Tornado takes care of enemy Royal Oppressions, Black Whirlwinds. If they set too much, if they have a lot of back row, it'll consume those back rows to protect your fortress, things like that. And then I see, I think the last one is, yep, Solemn Judgment. Judgment, I don't main this just because I was expecting a lot of Black Wings, honestly. And if I have this in the main, I'm Solemn Judgmenting like I don't know, a normal summon, like the rest of your life points is easy picking. So any other matchup that's like good, I'll slide it in. Usually not like Vayu Turbo or Black Wings, I won't slide it in. Frogs, I'll slide it in. Glads, Lightsworns, what else? Zombies was one of them. What else? Yeah, there's a bunch of other matchups that's good for. Black Wings and Vayu, not so much, in my opinion. But I'll tell you about my Edison pod. So it was the last pod of the day, right? I just scrubbed out of the day 2 tournament, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna sign up for the last pod. There's 2 spots left. I took the second to last one, and yeah, it was. So it's 8 people, and 4 of the 8 people were from Card Addiction. So it looked like a Card Addiction locals. It was Homam on my right, Roy was in front of me, so he was my first opponent, and then Oscar was on my left. So 4 of the 8 was from Card Addiction. I was like, oh, cool. This is crazy. So I beat Roy, who was on Vayu Turbo, and Roy actually got top 8 at the day 1 event. So he did extremely well. I think he went X1 for the day, got top 8. Extremely proud of him. But I beat him. Very close match. Game 2 was against a guy named Aaron. Also, coincidentally enough, we had the same name, same play mat. We're using like the pyramid Black Rose mat, and then same color sleeves. I was like, this is crazy. Like our tastes are like exactly the same, exact same name. I don't know. But anyways, he was on Frog Monarchs. I 2-0'd him. And then the last match was Vayu Sorn. So I got that 1-2-1. That was a very interesting deck as well. But interestingly enough, at the end of the event, or end of the day, they were raffling off 2 Yggdrasil mats, right? And they let me and my opponent add our names in, because if you already won a mat, they didn't want to give another mat to a winner, right? So in the finals, potentially one of us were going to be a winner, right? One of us were going to walk away from a mat. But the judge told us if our names are pulled, then automatically the other person wins. So coincidentally, I won the raffle, which is like the first time I'm winning a raffle in general. So I got a mat, right? And my opponent also got a mat, but we played it out, and I was eventually able to beat him 2-1. But we both got to walk away happy. I'm glad I got this. Walking into the event for RBET, I was like, I just want to win a Yggdrasil mat. Like that's all I want to do. Like I just want to win this mat. I don't want to buy it. I just want to win it. Because I really do enjoy this fabric. It's very light, very soft to the touch, not a lot of pile, right? So the card slide, like the cushion, I guess, is not a lot, but it's still nice to the touch. Very breathable, which I enjoy. It reminds me of a V2 Spellground playmat from back in the day. If you guys know what that is. It's like a really, really old playmat, maybe from like 15 years ago. But not 15 years ago, probably like 10 years ago. Quite old. But anyways, yeah, Machina. I love this deck. I probably will continue to play it. I might go back to the Chaos version. I have some ideas in mind, but I had a lot of fun. The event was great. If you have a chance to go to an RBT, I would highly recommend it. I'm sure there'll be a lot more, hopefully more on the West Coast, you know, but yeah, that way I can, you know, participate. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.